Hello everybody, it's Bluefinny here, and welcome back to my channel. Now today is not going to be about CSGO, it's going to be a game that I made a few sort of guides for, and that is Fallout 4. Now after I'd sort of made them guides and sort of done what I wanted to do in the game, I sort of wasn't interested anymore. Even though, you know, I'm playing on PC and I've got access to mods, it just sort of didn't appeal to me. It didn't have that sort of extra depth that I wanted to. But right now, like, I've just seen a Reddit post, which has been submitted, and this is sort of the Fallout 4 Survival Mode full overview extracted from in-game files. Now this was posted on Reddit by RayQUGR, or RayQUGR? I'll basically link it in the description below. But this post, if this is all correct, now I'm not 100% sure if it is, but if this is all correct, Fallout 4 is a game I'm going to go back and play through again, probably multiple times. So I'm actually going to read through this Reddit post right now for you, and this is about the Fallout 4 survival mode. Now, as you may know, in Fallout New Vegas there was a survival mode, and it added things like, you know, you need to eat, drink, sleep, you know, whatever. Rave if you want, and repeat if it's up to you. But anyway, yeah, this in Fallout 4 the survival mode was literally just sort of an enemies deal more damage, you take more damage, you know, blah blah blah, that sort of thing. Enemies become bullet sponge. So it was sort of useless. Now, this is bringing basically survival mode like it was in New Vegas back, but this seems a hell of a lot more survival mode. Like, this seems quite hard, and this might be exactly what Fallout 4 is needed to bring anyone sort of who played the older Fallout games back into it if they got out of it. So here we go. After a minute and a half of rambling, I'm going to get back into this. So, here we go. Survival breaks the rules of the Commonwealth, and here is a list of the stuff. So here we go. So I think this is one of the biggest ones. So saving your game, usually, you know, quick save on the keyboard or your D-pad or whatever it is, or start save. Simple, yeah, easy. Anyone can do it anytime, anywhere. Cool. So now to enable save, press no, that's I'm reading the wrong thing. So saving, manual and quick saving are disabled. To save your game, you need to find a bed and sleep for at least an hour. So that is huge. So that's going to be massive. This is where I can see, especially on PC, mods coming into the game, where it's sort of like a sleeping bag mod or like a portable bed mod. I think that's going to be massive for PC, because I feel like manual and quick saving being disabled could be huge. Like, I think, now it doesn't say anything about autosave, so I think it autosaves when you enter and exit a building, so you might be, that might not be too bad. Okay, so that might not be too bad, but it could be pretty bad and quite hard. Okay, so combat. Combat is more lethal for everyone. You now deal, but also take more damage. You can increase the damage you deal even further with adrenaline. Now that is a actual perk, which I will skip straight to now. So survival mode automatically grants the adrenaline perk, which provides a bonus to your damage output, unlike other perks. The only way to increase your rank of adrenaline perk is by getting kills, hostile or otherwise. So the higher the adrenaline rank, the higher the bonus damage you do, and sleeping for more than an hour, however, will cause your adrenaline rank to lower. You can check your current adrenaline rank in the Pip-Boy. So there's a new perk that I assume everyone gets when they enter survival mode, or it might be one you can pick, but it seems like it would just be added onto the tech tree, or sort of the skill tree, which is quite cool. So the less you sleep, so in theory the less you save, the more damage you can output. In theory. That might not be true, but it might be. Okay, so let's go to fast travel. I don't think I've done fast travel. So fast travel is disabled, which means, yes, if you want to be somewhere, you've got to pack your bags, pack your little backpack, and walk there. You have to physically walk there. Ooh, or can you use the vertibirds to travel? I'm not 100% sure, but you might be able to use the vertibirds to travel around. But if you haven't gone to that bit, you're walking everywhere. Get your nice shoes on, you're going for a walk. And just like New Vegas, bullets and ammo will now have a small amount of weight, which varies by caliber. So, things like rockets and mini nukes are going to be bloody heavy. Whereas your 9mm pistol rounds won't be as heavy. But, you know, the more you have, the more it builds up, which means, you know, you could see a lot more sort of melee weapon survival characters coming in, which could be quite risky because the damage output, but the adrenaline perk, okay, that could be quite cool. But So yeah, rockets and shit, they're going to weigh you down. So if you've done sort of like a minigun build before, you might want to reconsider that. So now the compass, the thing that everyone just looks at to find their quest location. So enemies no longer appear on the compass. So there's no longer going to be a little red line of where the enemies are. So you're going to have to keep your eyes out for them sneaky deathclaws that sneak up on you out of the side of your screen and then one bang you, because that's going to happen even more now. And the compass has also been changed to where, you know, when you walk around you'd see like an outline of a camp or a building that you haven't discovered yet. Now they are now drastically shortened, so you're not always going to know where stuff is. You're going to have to do a little bit more exploring. Now this is titled under wellness, which I haven't read through yet. So it is basically the same stuff as New Vegas. You know, I'll read it out to you. You will find it difficult to survive without taking proper care of yourself. You must stay hydrated, fed, and rested to remain combat ready. Going for extended periods of time without food, water, or sleep will begin to adversely affect your health, hurting your special stats, adding to your fatigue, lowering your immunity, and eventually even dealing physical damage from you. So if you don't drink or you don't eat or sleep, you die, which is rough, and I like it. And there's a few things in there that we haven't seen before. Now that is sickness and fatigue, but we will have a quick look at them right now. So fatigue works like radiation but affects your action points rather than your HP. So the more fatigue you have built up, the less action points you'll have for other actions. So i.e. sprinting and using VATS. So it's basically the same as radiation, you know. When you get too much radiation, you start to take HP damage and eventually die. This is basically when you get too much fatigue, you start not being able to use VATS, which is probably going to be even more important in survival mode when combat is going to be harder. Okay, so sickness, the other new thing we have. So, oh Jesus, this is a lot of reading in this video, but it's going to be a longer and more rambly one, as you can probably tell already. But if you want to quickly skip to this, the link is in the description to the Reddit thread where I'm reading this from. But anyway, let's continue with sickness. So, an immune system, we've all got one in real life. So, that's basically, you're going to take damage from ghouls, bugs, using harmful chems, which are drugs in the game. And they're all going to put your body at risk and give you side effects. So, that could be quite interesting to see sort of what side effects they give. I mean, I assume things like ghouls are just going to give you more radiation damage and then affect a certain special stat. I don't really know how else they can affect you unless like certain like drugs start sort of affecting your vision and stuff more, which will be quite an interesting thing. Like, you know, when you play GTA 5 and you go out or GTA 4 and you go drinking, you know, with your cousin. You go in a car, you go home and you'll drive and your vision is all blurry, yeah? So they could act like an effect similar to that that would be quite interesting to see. I want to see how that is. But you know, there's always a way to cure your sickness, and that's with antibiotics. Now, antibiotics, which can be crafted at chemist stations or purchased from doctors, heal the various effects of sickness. So you can go and make the chems you need and the medicines you need. Not chems, I guess they're medicines, aren't they? To actually heal yourself. So here we go. Oh, okay, this is quite an interesting feature. I don't think we've seen this in like, a Fallout game before, but this is bed types. Now, usually you just sleep, you know, in a mat on the floor, in a sleeping bag, in a big double bed. It doesn't matter. They all do the same thing. But now, in survival mode, they don't. The type of bed you're sleeping in determines the length of time you're able to stay asleep. A sleeping bag will save your game and may help save your life when you're desperate, but it will never allow for a full night's rest and the benefits which come with that. So, rather than spamming your settlement with sleeping bags because they're compact, you might actually want to put some proper beds in now. So that's quite a cool thing. Okay, so the next thing, crippled limbs. Crippled limbs will no longer auto-heal after combat and will remain crippled until healed by a stim pack. Okay, so that's the same as New Vegas, you know. You've got to physically go and heal your limbs. They just won't heal themselves, which I thought was the same anyway, but I was clearly wrong. So carry weight. Exceeding your carry weight reduces your endurance and agility stats, periodically damages your legs and health. Think of your back. Now, that's huge, because like going over your carry weight actually hurts limbs now, which is so cool. Like, that just adds another sort of depth and level to it. Like, especially with ammo now having weight, you're going to be able to look at it and be like, oh crap, can I actually pick that up? Or am I not going to be able to have an invent full of duct tape and teacups or whatever junk you've picked up? So, okay, so now let's go on to companions, the backpack mules that we all like to keep around for bullet sponges. So companions will no longer automatically get back up if downed during combat, and will return home if abandoned without being healed. So now, rather than just be like, oh, dog meat's down, he'll get up in a minute, he'll be fully healed. Now you're actually going to have to heal them, otherwise they will just go home and stay unhealed, so they won't be healed. So, and the last bit here is enemy and loot repopulation. Now you're going to a factory or a warehouse or a cave or a house or anywhere, any building, and once you've cleared it, that's done. You've cleared that. That's job done. That's a building. That's part of the game that you've got no reason to go back in. So now, locations you've cleared will now repopulate enemies and loot at a significantly slower rate. So, actually, I could have been wrong there. I think enemies do respawn, but it won't be like, oh, leave, wait a day, come back. Enemies are like, it'll be like, oh, leave, wait a week, and enemies will be there. Which adds more of sort of a realistic feel. Like, if you go into like a bandit camp and you wipe out all the bandits, you know, another group of bandits isn't going to come back the next day. It's going to be, oh, let's wait a week, make sure this, you know, this crazy maniac who just wiped out all of our friends isn't around. And then they wait a week, and then they come back, and then they bring their stuff back. So that's sort of a more of a realism feel to it. So, and at the bottom of this, the credits are from /u/Shane D53, so that is your username on Reddit, Shane D53. Thank you for posting this, and thank you to the guy I mentioned at the start of this video for also posting this. And the credits go to one of them. So, as far as I know, this sounds all pretty plausible and pretty like it's going to be in the game. So, hopefully, this is going to improve the game, or at least make me go back and play it again, because I did enjoy Fallout 4. And if I go back and play Fallout 4, you guys know there's going to be some guides for it, so get ready for them, for some survival guides, if this is that good. So, my quick thoughts on it are that building your settlement no longer is just like a side task, it seems stupidly important, especially with all the crafting stations, especially in the medicine. So I might actually be able to do a science build. But anyway, I've rambled enough for this video. If you want to go check out the post, I will put it below. And yeah, anything I've missed, I apologise. Go check it out yourself. I think I've got all the important stuff, all the stuff that I've noticed. That it's going to be a massive game changer. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Go and give this Reddit post some love, and I'll see you later, guys.